Throughout human existence, fear has been a vital response to physical and emotional danger. If people didn't feel fear, they wouldn't be able to protect themselves from legitimate threats. However, some people's fears are considered to be irrational because the things they're afraid of are not actually dangerous. In fact, there are several phobias that are so bizarre they sound made up, but I guarantee you they're actually real. These are rare phobias you never knew existed. Imagine a world with gray flowers, gray fruits, and gray rainbows. Pretty dull, right? That's because colors bring the world around us to life by adding a splash of beauty and variety to everything we see. Some people might even have a favorite color, while others don't like colors at all. But some persons actually have an extreme fear of colors, which is known as chromophobia. When they see a color that triggers their phobia, they may have trouble breathing, start sweating a lot, or even have a panic attack. Although it's possible to have a fear of all colors or be sensitive to only bright colors, most people with this disorder are afraid of one or two colors in particular. For example, xanthophobia is a fear of the color yellow. Rhodophobia is a fear of the color pink. Cyanophobia is a fear of the color blue. Do I need to continue? You get the point. When we enter this world, we do so in our most natural state, bald, slimy, and naked. But we don't stay that way for too long. We are quickly cleaned and covered in clothing. This means that human beings are conditioned to wear clothes from very early on. In fact, in most parts of the world, it is the norm to be fully clothed in public. However, some people find it difficult to keep their clothes on in public and in private too. Vestophobia is the fear of clothing. This is not to be confused with naturism, which is a lifestyle of practicing non-sexual social nudity in private and in public. Those who suffer from this condition tend to experience a high amount of anxiety from simply thinking about clothing, let alone wearing it. They may also take extreme measures to avoid clothing, like refusing to wear clothes, regardless of the particular situation they're in. Scientists believe that this phobia can develop from allergies to certain fabrics or previous traumatic experiences with clothing. A common example of this is when soldiers and others with a history of working in the military develop this phobia. In some individuals, tight clothing can lead to the feeling of claustrophobia, and over time, this can turn into vestophobia as well. Have you ever misplaced your phone and immediately felt a wave of panic come over you? Well, 73% of people claim to experience this unique form of anxiety, so you're not alone. In fact, the average American adult spends 2 to 4 hours swiping, scrolling, tapping, and typing on their mobile devices, which is the equivalent of 2,600 touches every day. One study even described cell phones as the biggest non-drug addiction of the 21st century and reported that college students are spending more than 9 hours a day on their mobile devices. This unhealthy attachment to cell phones has caused some people to develop a condition called NOMOPHOBIA, which is an intense fear of not having your phone or not being able to use it. This phobia might also be triggered if someone has to put their phone down or won't be able to check their phone for a while. Those who have nomophobia will try to avoid feelings of stress by taking their cell phone to bed, the bathroom, and even inside the shower. They will also check their mobile phone constantly to make sure it's working and that they haven't missed a notification. Several studies have suggested that this phobia is becoming more widespread, so make sure to manage the time you spend on your devices wisely. If you're not careful, you might become nomophobic. Who remembers that joke about number 6 and number 7? Well, just in case you forgot or have no clue what I'm talking about, it goes like this. Why was 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. Although this might seem like just a silly joke, there are people in this world who are just like 6. Except, they're not afraid of number 7. They're afraid of number 8. Yes, octophobia is an intense fear of the number 8. People with this specific phobia may go to great lengths to avoid seeing the number. They might do things like make sure that grocery receipts or restaurant tabs don't add up to a total that includes the number 8. Or they may steer clear of places that have the number 8 in the address. Or they may try not to own 8 of any item. The number 8 is pretty hard to avoid, considering that it can be found all around us in books and on calculators, clocks, computers, phones, and bills. As a result, the anxiety associated with octophobia can interfere with an individual's job responsibilities, education, personal relationships, and daily tasks. In recent years, there has been a significant increase in the number of men growing out their facial hair. Beards, in particular, have become more popular, with several celebrities jumping on the beard bandwagon. Some believe that it is due to the fact that beards are trendy, while others have said that it is a result of people working from home, thereby allowing them to grow their facial hair. While some may find a beard attractive and mature, others feel differently. They're scared of them. Pogonophobia is known as an extreme fear of beards. People with this condition may feel severe anxiety or panic around people with beards. It's also impossible for these individuals to predict when and where they might encounter someone with a beard. So, pogonophobia can make it difficult to function at work, in social situations, or in public. Pictures and videos of persons with beards might also bring about feelings of anxiety or panic. This phobia extends to long, full beards or any type of facial hair such as a mustache, goatee, or 5 o'clock shadow beard. The condition can also make people scared of real beards or artificial beards that are part of costumes. I am sad just thinking about all the beautiful bearded men they'll be missing out on. Like this one. And this one. And this one. Okay, sorry, I got distracted. Okay, I want you all to pause for a quick second and look down. Do you have an innie or an outie? If it was easy for you to answer that question, then congrats! You don't suffer from omphalophobia. If you haven't already guessed, this is a fear of belly buttons. Those who have this phobia absolutely dread the thought of seeing a belly button and experience immense feelings of horror, panic, or terror when they do see a belly button. Even if they recognize that belly buttons aren't threatening, they can't control their thoughts. They will also make an active effort to steer clear of situations that involve belly buttons. This means avoiding beaches, pools, and changing rooms. Maybe they could try placing a piece of tape over their belly button so they don't have to look at it or touch it. Just a suggestion. Have you ever thought to yourself, I don't need lots of money. Being rich sucks. Yeah, I didn't think so. For most people, this may seem like a ridiculous statement, but for those who suffer with plutophobia, this is quite normal. Plutophobia is the fear of wealth. This phobia does not only focus on the individual, but extends to other people as well. This means that someone with this condition might be extremely terrified of persons who are powerful and wealthy. At the same time, individuals with plutophobia may also be afraid of becoming wealthy themselves. This fear causes people to do extreme things like putting out mediocre efforts at work in an attempt to purposely sabotage their career growth to prevent themselves from becoming rich. It is believed that this phobia may develop for several reasons. People are scared of the inevitable pressures and responsibilities that come with an increased income. They also worry that people will take advantage of them and that they will be required to support others financially. Another possible reason might be their paranoia and fear of being stalked, pursued, or robbed by someone who is jealous of their wealth. These are definitely valid concerns. After hearing all of these reasons, do you still want to become wealthy? I don't know about you, but I certainly do. For some people, a good old peanut butter and jelly sandwich is a classic simple meal that hits the spot. But for others, it's their worst nightmare. This is because they are living with ARACHIBUTYROPHOBIA, which is an extreme fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth. This phobia is definitely quite rare, but it is certainly real. Those who suffer from this condition are afraid of choking on peanut butter or substances of a similar texture. The mere thought of peanut butter triggers feelings of anxiety and makes the person feel like they can't swallow. If the individual feels this way, it is highly likely that their throat is actually closing up and they should seek medical attention immediately. This phobia also affects people differently, as some are able to eat foods that contain peanut butter while others aren't. So, the next time you're making lunch, skip the peanut butter and have yourself a plain old jelly sandwich instead, just to be on the safe side. Have you ever been on a date with a gorgeous woman and your palms started sweating? Or maybe you saw an attractive woman in the produce aisle at the grocery store and you got a bit excited? It is pretty normal to feel a little nervous when you're around a beautiful woman. However, some people find it extremely difficult to be around attractive women and might even feel intense worry and uneasiness when they come around. This condition is known as venostrophobia, which is defined as an extreme fear of beautiful women. Some people with this phobia experience an anxiety that is so severe and invasive that they may literally feel sick to their stomach at the mere sight of a gorgeous woman. In order to prevent these feelings, people with venostrophobia will isolate themselves and avoid places where attractive women might be. They might also become very critical of themselves and neglect taking care of their physical appearance. It is believed that one of the main reasons for the emergence of this phobia is a traumatizing event involving a beautiful woman. Maybe they got their heart broken by an attractive woman, or an extremely good-looking woman might have publicly humiliated them in some way. How awful! Let's take a trip down memory lane. Remember when you just started learning how to read? So many letters, words, and sounds. It definitely wasn't the easiest thing to do. In fact, Some people might have had a hard time learning words, which could result in the development of anxiety and other negative feelings whenever they have to look at words. Lengthy words, in particular, can bring about feelings of extreme distress and panic for some people. This condition is known as a fear of long words, or PHOBIA. There is a 99% chance I pronounced that incorrectly, but that's okay. This phobia is normally triggered when someone sees a long word like flossy-nosin-nihilopilification or anti-disestablishmentarianism. Persons who suffer from this condition may also avoid reading so they don't have to come across long words that will cause them to panic. They also worry about being mocked or embarrassed when pronouncing or reading long words like xenotransplantation. If you didn't enjoy learning these new words, you might be dealing with a case of hippopotomonstrosesquipedaliophobia. And can we also mention that one of the longest words in the English language is used to describe the fear of long words? Alexa, play Ironic by Alanis Morissette. Do you know any other rare phobias like the ones in this video? Let us know in the comments below. If you made it to the end of this video, that can only mean one thing. You are seriously into some weird-ish. So go ahead and press that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more weird content just like this.